Welcome to the Shekina Meditation Podcast, created by Shekina community members. Shekina communities are dedicated to creating free devotional spaces of Christian practice for spiritual seekers and travelers around the world. We post Christ-centered guided meditation each week to help you in your personal or small group practice. You can find episode show notes and other information at shekinacommunity.com.
Hello, this is Ro.
This is Ray.
It's episode 81 of the podcast.
And it's Sunday the 12th of July as we record this, and we are sitting on my front steps on a very overcast, sticky day. Listeners, this podcast is supported by you. Because this podcast is about meditation, we want to keep it ad-free. Our beloved patrons at patreon.com support us for as little as $1 a month. You can find us at patreon.com/Shekina Meditation Podcast.
And another way that you can support us is by rating and reviewing us on iTunes. Or you could send the podcast onto a friend, tell the world. You could do a banner and hang it out your window if you live in a flat.
Yeah, that's true.
That'd be cute.
I bet your flatmate or the people on the other flats in your building would like to hear about the meditation.
Yeah, you could do a letterbox drop.
Yeah. It's true.
You
Yeah.
could.
You could just do cold door-to-door door-to-door
I'd like
flyers.
to speak to you about a podcast. Patrons, you're the best. We appreciate you so much. You're like a bunch of lummi.
You are small, round, and sweet. Seeded fruits that grow in bunches on trees.
If you're thinking like lychees or rambutans.
Yeah, lychees are probably the ones that you might know the best. Maybe, depending on where you are in the world.
Some places have them canned.
Oh yeah,
Like
that's
I had
true.
lychees canned.
Yeah,
You might have it in a cocktail or something.
I think most people know what they are. We say lychee. They say lychee. Lychee,
Yeah.
lychee.
And lummi is a similar-ish sort of fruit, and they're just everywhere right now.
Kind of tastes slightly melonish, like cantaloupe, but mixed with lychee.
Oh, so good.
It's excellent.
I want a lummi right now.
Mm.
How was your week this week, Ray?
It was a very full week. We had a morning of gardening on Wednesday, and then we had a little talk about what we're up for the next few weeks. We're kind of going bit by bit still, so decided that we're not ready to open up for community lunch yet because of the guidelines for large gatherings, a bit complex and a bit hard to manage.
Yeah.
So instead, we're just deciding on doing meditations, smaller gatherings, music, trying to figure out what we're up for. So that was a nice talk.
Yeah. That was exciting. We got a bit dreamy and thinking about stuff in the garden and what kind of projects we can work on
Yes.
together. And then on Thursday we had a Jesus Storybook Bible women's circle, which was lovely. We had some friends who haven't joined us before on that, which was really nice.
It was beautiful.
Beautiful just to read a couple of stories and discuss and talk through some deep things and pray for each other. It's been a really lovely thing the last few weeks, actually.
Yeah. So nice. And always with treats.
Yeah.
This time it was lamyai, chai, kombucha, and you made banana cake. It's very good. I've had some different chats and talks with people this week. We have a little book group that's not connected to Shekina, but just something that the community in Pi does, and you and I were both there. And it was a full day, a full week. Oh yeah, and the labyrinth. We walked the labyrinth on Friday with a labyrinth meditation, and it was beautiful. It was very deep and moving for me. I had some really good experiences doing that, and it's just been a really full week, and so I'm thankful I had yesterday to just kind of relax in the heat as the power was off all day. Just sitting around waiting for the fans to turn back on. But it was good. It was a beautiful day.
Lots of our friends from all over the world are kind of working out what they're going to do with their visas at the moment. Pretty much everywhere we go, some of our friends want to talk about that. Everyone's kind of processing how they're going to deal with that change and if they're going to go back to their home country or whatever. So that's sort of a big thing on everyone's horizons right now.
Yeah, it is. And it's big for us too, since if half of our friends leave, that's going to be really intense.
Yep.
So, yeah, but everywhere in the world, I know that you guys are going through similar things. It's hitting us in our own particular way in traveling communities in Asia. And I know that wherever you are, you have restrictions or stuff like that. So we hope that these meditations are helping you during this time.
Yeah.
And yeah, that the faithfulness of God will help to lead us all through this.
I love that that's a connecting thing for us, you know. That we can be from all over the world and still be talking to the same God and still be, meditating on the same Spirit. And it's beautiful. I love that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So today's episode is a Lectio Divina on Psalm 23. It's guided by Naomi and recorded in Australia. She did this from where she is and sent it to us, so that's nice because it's a little chance for a Naomi meditation. She uses the voice version as she does it, and she will guide you through it.
So as usual, there's like the mindful sort of calming part to begin with, and then she's going to read and guide you through the meditation. And then in the third part, it's really about processing and sharing. So if you're listening by yourself, you might want to do some journaling or make a little voice memo on your phone, speak something out loud, or make a piece of art or do a dance or process in some way.
Yeah.
And then if you're listening to this podcast with a couple of friends or in a little group, you might like to take a sharing circle where you take each person having a turn just to share what happened for them, what their experience is, and just letting each person speak sort of as much as they want, really.
Yeah.
Not preaching towards each other, but just saying what happened for you and not interrupting each other and just letting everyone process.
Yeah, what pictures did you see? Or how did the meditation affect you? What was going on for you?
Yeah, we usually do twice around the circle to give people opportunity to think a bit more and say something else if they want to. Yeah, I love that part of the meditation. It's always super interesting for me hearing how people who've heard the exact same thing as I have had such a beautiful different experience. And I just want to encourage you guys to enjoy that part as well.
Let's begin.
Just find a position that is comfortable for you and that you feel that you can hold for some time. I encourage you, if it feels good to you, to remain seated. Or if you would prefer, you may lie down, but just a warning here that sometimes when we get horizontal, we can instantly really feel like we need to sleep. And that totally may be what God is calling you to today. But can I encourage you maybe to try and, as we quieten the body and still the mind, to still try and stay awake and active and receptive for what the divine may be trying to speak to you today. Wherever you are, I want you to just begin to elongate the spine, really reach up through the crown of the head, rooting down through the sit bones. Maybe taking some stretches if that feels good for you, moving in a way that allows you to stretch, get any wriggles out so that you can then be still. We want to try and calm that monkey mind that is always racing, that is always drawing us away from stillness, that is always drawing us away from listening and into finding our worth in our work or our productivity. Begin to draw the breath in through the nostrils, filling up the chest, the lungs, the belly with air. And then maybe opening the mouth and just sighing it out. Take a few more of these deep and conscious breaths. If it helps you, maybe you can even place your hand on your body and feel the breath as it enters and exits. If you find during the meditation that your mind wanders, please be gentle on yourself. Meditation is called a practice because it is just that, a practice. And the mind is like a muscle that we need to exercise and to train for meditation. We are so used to filling up our brains. And so it is a practice of coming back and reorientating over and over and over again to the breath, to listening, and to stillness. So as you feel your mind begin to wander with gentleness and not with judgment, I ask you to just use that as a signpost to lead you back into the meditation, into the breath. If you are feeling burdened by worries or jobs or errands that you might need to run, I just invite you now to imagine before you a basket. And one by one, you can begin visualizing yourself placing those worries or those concerns one by one into the basket. That basket is completely safe. And if you choose to pick up those things again at the end of the practice, you are so welcome to do so. Or you can choose to leave them. Just becoming fully present in this very moment. I'm going to read the passage maybe 3 times today. And on this first time, I just want you to listen. Just see what rises up within you. Feel in your body a response. Notice twitches, notice discomfort, notice comfort. The Eternal is my shepherd. He cares for me always. He provides me rest in rich green fields, beside streams of refreshing water. He soothes my fears. He makes me whole again, steering me off worn, hard paths to roads where truth and righteousness echo his name. Even in the unending shadows of death's darkness, I am not overcome by fear, because you are with me in those dark moments, near with your protection and guidance. I am comforted. You spread out a table before me, provisions in the midst of attack from my enemies. You care for all my needs, anointing my head with soothing, fragrant oil, filling my cup again and again with your grace. Certainly, your faithful protection and loving provision will pursue me where I go, always, everywhere. I will always be with the Eternal, in your house, forever. Again, just inviting you to consider what you are feeling in this body as these words are read over you. Just noticing. I'm going to read the passage again a second time, this time with a few bigger gaps for pause and reflection. And this time I just want you to notice any word or phrase that might stand out to you. And just begin to ask yourself why. Why might I need to hear this today? What may the divine be trying to say to me today? The Eternal is my shepherd. He cares for me always. He provides me rest in rich green fields, beside streams of refreshing water. He soothes my fears. He makes me whole again, steering me off worn, hard paths to roads where truth and righteousness echo his name. Even in the unending shadows of death's darkness, I am not overcome by fear, because you are with me in those dark moments, near with your protection and guidance. I am comforted. You spread out a table before me, provisions in the midst of attack from my enemies. You care for all my needs, anointing my head with soothing, fragrant oil, filling my cup again and again with your grace. Certainly your faithful protection and loving provision will pursue me where I go, always, everywhere. I will always be with the Eternal, in your house forever. If you feel that maybe you've lost your focus, I invite you to return to your breath once again. Just noticing that air as it flows in and out of your nostrils. And then I want you to begin to imagine maybe a forest setting. And in this forest is a beautiful log to rest on, to take a seat from the journey. You can imagine yourself sitting on that log, taking in the smells and the beauty around you, feeling the textures of leaves and sticks and rocks underneath your feet, even the rough surface of the wood underneath your seat. And then I want you to imagine the divine sitting next to you. I want to assure you right now that the divine is incredibly safe. And so whatever safe picture comes into your mind, I want you to grab that. There is no wrong or right way to do this, but to just let your imagination go free. The divine is very much next to you. So close, in fact, that you can feel his or her breath on your skin. The divine's attention is yours. And as I read this verse for a third time, I want you to consider what is your most honest and truest response to this passage. Nothing is hidden from the divine, if the divine knows your heart anyway. I'm going to leave a space of time at the end of this next reading for you to express to the divine those feelings and whatever it is that you need to express. Encouraging you again that the divine is fully safe and you are safe here to express how you need to express today. The Eternal is my shepherd. He cares for me always. He provides me rest in rich green fields, beside streams of refreshing water. He soothes my fears. He makes me whole again, steering me off worn, hard paths to roads where truth and righteousness echo his name. Even in the unending shadows of death's darkness, I am not overcome by fear, because you are with me in those dark moments, near with your protection and guidance. I am comforted. You spread out a table before me, provisions in the midst of attack from my enemies. You care for all my needs, anointing my head with soothing, fragrant oil, filling my cup again and again with your grace. Certainly, your faithful protection and loving provision will pursue me where I go, always, everywhere. I will always be with the Eternal, in your house forever. Take these next few moments to express to the divine sitting right there in front of you whatever it is that you need to express. No holding back, no judgment. Begin to take a nice, long, deep breath in through the nostrils, allowing the chest to rise, the ribs to splay out to the side and the belly to inflate with air. Maybe exhaling, opening the mouth and just giving a long, audible sigh. Filling up the nostrils, the chest, the ribs, the lungs, the belly, and sighing it out again. If it feels good to you, maybe you want to stretch your body in whatever way feels honoring for you. Maybe taking some neck rolls, standing up and moving side to side, or staying seated, taking some twists. And when you feel ready, you can come out of this time of solitude with the divine. And I invite you to take a moment to just journal your thoughts of what came up for you, even if that was nothing. But just take a moment to just jot those thoughts down.
Thank you for joining today. There will be a new guided meditation available each week, so don't forget to subscribe to iTunes or sign up for our newsletter to get podcasts delivered to your inbox at www.shekinacommunity.com/podcast newsletter. Also, you can rate or review on iTunes or sign up as a patron at patreon.com/Shekina Meditation Podcast. Have a beautiful week. Many blessings to you.